Good evening, the bearded one here. I was scheduled to have a bearded babble with a comedian, Lexi. Unfortunately, I think I forgot to realize the time difference. I just realized she's in Arizona and I'm on the East Coast in New Jersey, and we had scheduled it to be at 8 o'clock, but realizing it's now 5 o'clock in Arizona, my bad. Lexi and I are going to have to reschedule our bearded babble. Um, so we're going to have to set that up for another time. I know it was scheduled for tonight, but we'll figure it out another night. In the meantime, Monday night, I'm working on getting a bunch of people together. Going to try to do like a bearded babble marathon, and we're just going to go back to back, lining up a bunch of people, 5, 10, 15 minutes. We'll just talk, move on to the next one, no matter what it is. We'll just keep it going because I think it's important just to keep the lines of communication open and just to talk to people. I'm doing this because I've had a lot of people reach out to me, and I'm honored. It's a little tough to take, when I hear that people say that they're inspired. So if I can get on here and talk and I can inspire someone, the thing is, I'm inspired by so many of you. When I put up the other day that I was going to be doing the Bearded Babble, and if anybody wanted to join in, a lot of people reached out to me and said, oh, I'm not famous, I'm not this, I'm not that. Neither am I. This is just a conversation just between regular people about regular life, about what's going on. So that's what the Bearded Babble is all about. I just want it just to be fun. And again, who am I? So let's just have a conversation about whatever's on your mind. So again, the chat that I had set up for tonight with comedian Lexi, I again realized different time zones, miscommunication. It's only 5 o'clock out by her. I had told her 8 o'clock, so I don't even think she's even seen the message yet. So she and I will reschedule again. We'll do another one. Again, looking together to put together a Monday night marathon mayhem, whatever it's going to become. We'll have fun. But I'm on right now, and if anybody wants to chat now, you can jump on in. Uh, let's see. I'm going to put you on the spot. If you don't answer, you don't have to. Hey there.
Hello, sir. How are you?
How you doing?
I'm good. I've actually practicing Mario Kart because one of the people in my streaming community, they're going to be doing a thing tonight. So I've only played like a couple of times. I have no clue what I'm doing, but I saw that you were live, so I wanted to come in and say hi to you.
Well, I just
Nice
want.
to formally meet you.
It is very nice to formally meet you. And again, I was just saying about inspiring people. You are an inspiration to me because you are definitely one of those people who, no matter what's going on in our life, you always comment, you always send love, you always send support, and I'm grateful. Like I said, I say it a lot.
And I always say that you're inspiring to me also, just watching your family and how strong your family is. I mean, we all go through things and people handle things their way. And I know that you're really big on laughter and comedy, and that's the way we are here at home. And it it helps us get through, to be honest.
Yeah, I say it every time. I truly believe that's the secret to life is when you can learn to laugh at everything.
Yes.
It just makes everything a lot easier. Rough days,
It does.
you can make it just a little bit easier. Whether it's your humor, uh, whether it's watching something. Yesterday was a tough day. Last night, my wife and I we watched the Guest House, the Pauly Shore movie.
Hmm.
If you know and you love Pauly Shore, I mean it's typical Pauly Shore. It's
Yeah.
just stupid, funny comedy. Laugh at, forget about your day and just enjoy. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and those are my kind of movies. I'm really big on cheese. I love cheesy movies. Like I love Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band with the Beatles. I mean with the Beatles, with the Bee Gees
Yes.
and Peter Frampton. And people think, oh, that's so cheesy. I'm like, I love it.
Yeah.
My mom has an album, and we listen to it on occasion. We have music appreciation hour too, so we'll bust out the vinyl and play some records and laugh and have a good time. But we have our bad days too. So We
Yeah.
just get through it.
That's another important thing you said too is music. Music
Hmm.
helps in many ways too. I listen to everything. Find myself in a place now where, depending on the mood, what I need. I've always been into jazz, smooth jazz, and stuff like that. That's probably one of my go-tos. But I found now, like on Spotify, there's so many different genres. Trip.
Hmm.
I just find things just very relaxing. Uh,
Hmm.
just get lost, in your favorite bands.
Yeah.
And music really does heal. When the music hits, you feel no pain. It's
Yeah, definitely, definitely. But yeah, that's always been I mean, my whole life, my grandma, there, our music collection is very eclectic. And that's why when I post on my Instagram, the eclectic music collection, because I listen to everything. I listen to everything from country to, and because I'm brown, people assume that, well, why do you listen to that? You should be listening to this. I'm like, I can listen to whatever I want. If I'm in the mood for, you know, heavy metal, I'm gonna put it on. If I'm in the mood to just chill, put on some lo-fi or something, I'll put
yeah.
that on. It just depends on my mood or what I'm doing at the time.
Lo-fi is definitely one of my favorites too. That's good at nighttime just to just put that,
Hmm.
get those beats going through your head and
Yeah,
just out and tune everything out.
yeah.
Again, another secret to life. Hopefully somebody and they're getting something. Again, this is what this is about. It's just sharing our lives and learning and helping people. That's all we.
Definitely.
That's
But
all.
like I said, your family inspires me. You inspire me. You know, um, I just wish you guys the best, and I'm always looking through your feed and hope Jaden's good. I just want to make sure your family's good. And I know we don't know each other, but it's like you kind of follow somebody
Yeah.
and you kind of get to know them. And when, like with the Mr. Bean thing, like I love Mr. Bean, and that's rare to find a lot of people who like Mr. Bean. So yeah, but
It's funny here in the States. I get, Mr. Bean is known worldwide, but in the U.S. he's really not. I mean, I go to car shows with that thing, and it's amazing how you can see how like certain families from where they're from. Um,
yeah.
I've had, not to stereotype, but it's true. Indian families, Indian
Mhm.
families, they go nuts. I had at the car show. The guy was on the phone with his wife telling, you got to get the kids. You got to. I stayed like an extra half an hour after the car show was over just because they wanted to bring the entire family down just to get a
Aw.
car because their whole life was Mr. Bean. And I find that amazing. And again, at like the car shows, most people look at the car and they go, oh, who, what, who's Mr. Bean? Just like, just keep walking. Don't talk to me. Just,
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Morris. Hey,
hey, it's Mr. Morris.
he
Oh,
cracks me up.
he is. And Mr. Morris, hang on. I think I'm going to get you on here next because that's another inspiration right there. I'm going to see if I can get him on here. Listen, I truly, this is wonderful. When I saw you pop up, I was like, I got to get her. I got to. You are,
I feel bad because I'm a hot mess right now, but like, I'm just gonna be myself because that's
yeah,
all I could be
yeah,
is me. So.
yeah. I got my hair for this whole thing too. So you're always there. And again, you don't understand how much you refuel us and how much you give us energy. A lot of times, like the worst days, and you don't think anything can help. Some days I may not like the comments. Some days I may not respond to the comments, but I read them. And I may not want to feel it. I may be angry. I may be feeling
Yeah.
down, but it gets into my soul and it helps. So, like I said, you're always one of those ones, always there with the love and positivity. And
Well,
I
I appreciate you.
truly appreciate you. Truly appreciate you for
Alrighty, then you have a good night. Good night, Mr. Morrison. Take
that.
care, you guys.
Thank you.
Bye
Have a good
bye.
love.
Bye.
Bye. All right, let's see if we can get Mr. Morris on here. Little animal action going on here tonight with the sheriff. Waiting on Mr. Morris. If you don't know who Mr. Morris is one of the top meme guys out there. Definitely one of the guys that I look to. He was somebody that when I got started, he was already established. I mean, I started a while ago. I don't know how much I'd like to talk to him about, when he really got started on Instagram and stuff like that. But it was a small family of meme people, and it's growing now. It's really it's a growing thing now, and it's interesting to see all the different avenues that the meme artists are going down. Hold on one second. Let me see here. Okay, hold on one second. All right, I don't know if he's still here or not, but again, you know, Dilio, again, I thank you so much, and it truly was so nice to actually meet you. But again, there's so many people that you connect with here on Instagram and on many social media platforms that you almost kind of feel that you know them. It's weird. I've been out a couple of times, a couple of things, and people have seen me, you know, and recognized me and said, "Oh, you know," and it's weird, but I always feel that I have a connection because it's not just the memes. It's not just a lot of things. It's I share my life. I think I'm a person who's always been an open book. I've always worn my heart on my sleeve. I think that's just the way to be. And again, you know, connecting with people. I know this may sound a little corny, but I think we're all kind of made from the same stardust. And I think some of us are, we're all made from stardust. Some of us are made from the same stardust. And I think when we connect, you just connect with people. Sometimes you connect with people that you don't understand why you connect with, uh, and sometimes it's just a way you just can't explain it, but you just connect with people. And again, it's just something inside of you. And once you connect with those people and you surround yourself with those type of people that are like-minded like you and think like you and feel things like you, it's a wonderful thing. Again, that's another secret to life. I think a lot of people in their younger ages want to just hang out and just be out and be in crowds. And as I get older, I see and I learn a lot more that once you find your people, your group of people, people that just make you happy, just being with them. That's it. Can be a very small group too. It doesn't have to be a large group. It could just be a handful of people. It's exactly we are rare species. You're absolutely correct on that one there. We definitely are some rare species, and I think we forget a lot that we're so connected, that we are just one human race. There's so much going on right now. There's so much division amongst people. And again, we really just forget that we are really just one. If there was an alien life form came down here tomorrow, we would all band together immediately if they were hostile. So we need to remember that we're one. We're all here on this planet. We're all trying to get together and just keep each other going and keep each other laughing. Um, Again, I appreciate all the love that I get here. Um, Everybody, uh, it's 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 just a lot of fun. Who's on there? Who just popped in there? Rent going south. Well, hello there, Rent going south. How's everything with you? Do you want to chat? If you want to chat, hit in. Hit in. We're here to chat. I'm still trying to figure out this whole IG live thing. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to invite people in. If you want to jump in, I think when you log in or at the top of your feed, I think you can request to be in. But like I said, I messed up with the time with the person who was supposed to be on tonight, 3 hour difference. So it's only what 5:17 there. They probably haven't even done anything yet. So um, let's see. Let's jump on in. Again, trying to connect here. I think I hit the right thing. Again, if you want to jump in, just jump on in. I'm going to request a couple of people. If you don't want to join in, that's absolutely fine. If you want to join in, jump on in. And again, we can talk about anything. Well, stay away from politics if possible. It's not my thing, but just about anything. There's so much going on in the world. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about your day. Let's talk about whatever. Anything that you want to. The weather. It dropped today, and it is like winter here overnight. Not enjoying that at all. Not enjoying that one bit. Not one bit. What's going on in your neck of the woods? Let's talk about it.
Am I coming back again?
You are. You're my go-to. You're my co-host tonight.
Well, hello.
When is your Mario Kart thing? I don't want to interfere with that.
My what?
When's your Mario Kart?
Oh, it's like in probably in about an hour, something like that.
And you
Yeah, so
practice. Who needs practice? You just.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna suck anyway. But hey, it's gonna be with a bunch of people that are cool, so that'll make it even more fun.
Yeah, and again, that's what it's about. To just chatting about something and just having fun and just forgetting about what's going on outside.
Yeah. I think I do want to talk about something. I want to ask you,
Cool.
When you were growing up, were you always like different than most people? Did you, or?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. I always thought that I was artistic. I was always very artsy. I was always into drawing, graffiti.
Mm-hmm.
I was always addicted to cars. So at a young age, I was buying model cars by the dozens and taking them apart, cutting off parts, putting them all together. That was always my thing. My clique of friends. I had some wonderful friends growing up. I mean, I grew up in the era of leaving at sunrise and getting back. Leaving
Yeah.
at sunrise and getting home at sunset, being out all day on our bikes, being out just wherever. Parents never knew where we were, getting into all sorts
Yeah.
of people. I had a good group of friends, but I always did feel that I was the comedic sidekick. I was never the good-looking one. I was never the athletic one. I was always the comedic sidekick. I was always the one with humor, and that's who I was, and I was happy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much how I was. I was always like the class clown, but like I was poor as a little kid, so I used to get made fun of a lot and bullied, especially when you're a mixed kid living in a predominantly Mexican community. It was kind of difficult. So, I'd get made fun of a lot with my hair and stuff like that. But yeah, I was always the weird kid. I never really like was a part of a clique. I was just kind of like wherever. If I could make you laugh, that's where I was.
Yes.
If they told me, hey, we need a volunteer to come up here and do something stupid, it was usually me that would be the first one to volunteer. I was very like theatrical. I wasn't in theater. I did do a play with my daughter in 2005. We did The King and I, and we had to sing. And I was like, I used to sing in the choir in high school, but I wasn't like the best singer. So I go, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. And I go, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to do it. My daughter wants me to do it. So I did it. And I got a part as one of the wives in the play. And I had to sing in that too. And I'm like, oh, do I have to sing? Could I just be a rock? Could I just like be in a fetal position like the entire play and just be a rock? But no, I did it, and it was out of my comfort zone, and I'm glad I did, because you just got to do it.
That's the best thing that I think anybody, if they have the opportunity to do, just what you just said, something that comes up that's outside of your comfort zone. Do it. Jump in and do it, because it is. And the thing is, too, is you have to realize, too, if you fail, it's another story. When it's another story. You hear so many failure stories, and you fail every day. You can't be afraid of that. It's what happens if I go up there and I enjoy this. It's like I said, the whole comedy thing with me. I got thrown up on stage by Donnell. He just called me up one Thanksgiving and said, "You're opening for me at Caroline's," and I was like, "I've never been on stage. What are you talking about?" I mean, it was. I'll tell you, it was one of the. I'll never forget. As I was waiting to go on. The only reason that I honestly went on stage to this day, and I still thank him every chance I get, is there's a comedian named Jimmy Martinez. It's
Mhm.
Fire in the Hole Jimmy Martinez, I believe is his Instagram. Jimmy's very good friends with Donnell, and Jimmy was the MC. And I'm standing there, and when I tell you, I was ready to piss my pants. I didn't know. I walked to the standing side stage, and I felt my legs just. I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. Jimmy went into this whole coming up to the stage. Oh my God, I've known this guy for 15 years. He's one of my best friends. I just met Jimmy that night. Just met.
It
He
seemed
went on,
like it was 15 years in that 15 minutes.
he on, and he had the crowd eating out of my hands before I got on stage. And when I got up there, they were all smiles already. He made it so. He made my first time so easy that I will never forget that. I mean,
That's cool.
yeah, I honestly, if he wasn't Jimmy Martinez, if it would have been somebody else, and they would have just been like, "Oh, coming to the stage now," I may have never have gotten on stage. It was because of him and his personality and his,
Mhm.
just over the topness that it worked for me. And it
Yeah.
step out of your comfort zone. Step out of your comfort zone. Give it a
I
try.
don't know if I could ever do comedy. I mean, I have my friends tell me like, "Oh, you're funny," but it's like I don't think I could just stand up and I could tell you stories that are funny that are actually real life that I've gone through that are pretty hilarious, but I don't know if I could come up with something like I don't know. That would be kind of hard. So
What you
I
just
give you
said,
props on that.
what you just said is comedy. Getting up on stage, laughing about your life, telling your story,
Mhm.
enhancing it, changing it a little bit, of course, always. But that's some of the best comedy. That is
Yeah.
the storytellers are the best comedians. I mean, listen, there are comedians out there that can just fire off joke after joke after, and that's amazing. But storytelling is another type. And if you got good stories and you got funny stories, and the most important thing that I've learned in comedy that you have to do is you have to just connect with the audience. You have to have a
Mhm.
conversation with the audience. If you can't connect with the audience, yeah, you can still do good up there if you're funny, but
Yeah.
you got to have a story, and they'll know if you're telling your story or someone else's story. But if
Mhm.
you're telling your story, you're going to win every time. I do it.
Oh, that'd be
No,
scary.
I'm putting the spot right here. I know,
Yeah,
I know,
I don't
funny,
know. That would be a tough one.
but when things open back up again, I am going to be on your case about that. I promise you.
Oh gosh.
I'm
I'll have
gonna
to really think about that one.
this is going to be saved here, so it'll be played back to you.
All right, I'll work on it.
Good.
I'll work on that.
That's all I can ask.
I could
All
just faint. That'd be funny. I mean, I think she tinkled a little, but
there you go. Slapstick comedy, whatever works.
But yeah, I was curious about that, like how you were when you were younger, and how comedy like influenced you. Because I mean, when I was a little kid, I mean, a lot of the stuff I probably shouldn't have been watching as a kid, and there was a lot of the stuff like Eddie Murphy's Delirious. When I saw that when I got older, it made more sense.
Yeah.
But I saw it when I was a little kid, and I'm thinking about like my uncle used to watch. I mean, that's all he watched was comedy shows, Three Stooges. He had a Betamax. He had things on Beta. It's just that's what I grew up on, and that's how like our family is, and that's why sometimes I feel like I'm too offensive when I say things. So I kind of have to put a filter on it because I don't want to offend anybody or
Yeah,
so yeah.
it is tough. I'm the same type too. My true comedy is I think too deep for a lot of people. That again, that's why Donnell and I get along so well because
Mhm.
true comedians really they go deep, they go hard, and that's how you love.
Mhm.
When you go like I cut into him, he cuts into me like ruthless. But I enough to see like him and Dave Chappelle standing toe to toe, just
Mhm.
destroying each other, and just absolutely hysterical. And it's love. That's
Yeah.
a lot of people. They're like, no. The deeper you go,
Yeah.
it's because you love and respect someone, and they
Mhm.
understand. It's just a joke. It's
Because
laughed
if
at.
you could tear someone to shreds and then have a beer after, like
Absolutely. Yeah.
that's love. But a lot of people, it's just so hard because they're not like that. They just they pick and choose what's funny and what's not.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm gonna laugh at this, but this isn't funny.
Yeah.
But they follow comedians and then they're like always making comments, and I'm like, I don't understand that. Like, it doesn't make sense. And just like I know how Dave Chappelle had said in one of the specials, I can't remember which one it was, but he was like, you pick your genre pretty much. You know, if I'm not for you, then there's somebody else.
Absolutely.
And, but they don't look for their own genre. They just put down everybody else's. And
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if that makes sense or not, but
It absolutely does. I mean, there are still, I love and respect all comedy.
mm,
Uh, there are some comedians out there that I kind of just don't, you know, I won't knock them. There's
yeah,
always that one or two comedians that is going to say or do the thing that's going to make you cringe the most. Now,
yeah,
I listen. I have some jokes that I do get a little cringe out of the audience, but then
mm,
I immediately get to, I get to, hey, it's his life. He's joking about it. Okay, I can laugh at it.
mm,
Some comedians just go for that, just cut you, and
mm,
you got to almost look at the humor in it. And
yeah,
again, if there is humor in it, I will stand up for it and I will go to bat for that comedian.
yeah.
Some comedians come off with some hate and they try to play it off as no, that was comedy. No, it wasn't. You know,
No, you could tell the difference
yeah,
for
you
sure.
can absolutely tell the difference. Yeah,
Yeah,
I like to keep my humor light and fun and full
mm,
of love and laughter. You know, it's like I said. You know, those of you who follow me, you know, of course,
mm,
a lot of the stuff that we go through with my son. If we didn't laugh at a lot of the stuff, yes, I make jokes about my special needs son on stage.
mm,
Yes, some of them are kind of tough. It's how we get through the day, though. And people
yeah,
don't understand that I have to get through these days. Some of these days that I live through are absolutely brutal.
mm.
And if we didn't laugh,
I bet, I bet.
my wife has an amazing sense of humor. My daughter she's going to be someone to be reckoned with in the future. She it was funny because when she was little, she would make jokes and not realize it. And as soon as
Mhm.
you laughed, she would get mad. She would scream, "Stop laughing at me." She didn't
That sounds familiar.
understand. She didn't understand that what she was doing was
Hmm.
great. She didn't understand humor. Now that she gets it, she's one of the most sarcastic, quick-witted. I could not be more proud. But I also have to remind her all the time too. That's we're in the house right now. Don't talk
Yes.
like that in public. Don't talk like that around your friends' parents. They're not going to understand
See,
it.
our families need to hang out because I bet you we would have a blast. Because my girls, I mean, my oldest, I have a 23, 21, 18, and a 12-year-old. The 12-year-old, you know, she's got a pretty sharp tongue on her. And then when they all get together and they roast each other,
Oh,
it's amazing to watch.
yeah,
And it's funny because I tell them, I said, that's why if somebody ever makes fun of you, it's like you're pretty much saying something that I've already told myself, so that's not funny. You know, tell me something that'll impress me.
yeah,
And so I think I raised them right, you know, to be, you know, open-minded about things and not be so offended all the time. And
yeah. I mean, my daughter was, I think, 11 or 12 when I took her to the Jay and Silent Bob movie that had the very
mhm.
small. I mean, it was, of course, going into the theater. Everybody was kind of like looking like, is he going into there with her? Of course, the Jay, they were all like, oh yeah, yeah, you know, it's fine.
It's parental guidance, right?
It's one of those things where you look at it and you go, you know, the first thing I did was I said, did I know that type of humor at that age? And the answer was yes.
Hmm.
Did I let my parents know that I knew that type of humor? No. But, you know, I mean, my father turned me on. My father used to sneak me out on Saturday nights. It was one Saturday night early on. I was, I don't know how young I was, but I heard my father cracking up on a Saturday night, snuck out of my bedroom, saw what he was watching. He
Hmm.
kind of watched. And then it became a thing after that. Every Saturday night after my mother went to bed,
Hmm.
I would watch the clock for 11:30, peek out of bed, and I would go in and I would watch, you know, Saturday Night back early '80s, like when it first started. It
Yeah.
was it was inappropriate. It was definitely inappropriate, and
I know that. I know
it's
that feeling.
that bond, and it was. I think I told on one of the last lives too, at a Dave Chappelle thing. At one point, I realized I was standing next to Lorne Michaels, and I was like, "Oh my!" I turned. I before I even went through anything in my mind, I turned. I extended my hand and I said, "Mr. Michaels, I have to thank you because my earliest memories of comedy were my
Mhm.
father taking me out to watch Saturday Night Live. So thank you." face lit up. He had so much joy from that. He gave me like a whole, like a handshake.
Yeah.
And it was just nice just to share that moment with him, just to thank him. Saturday Night Live was, like I said, it was probably my earliest introduction to comedy. And my favorite skit of all time is a skit that in this day and age would probably not go over well.
Definitely. I'm trying to think what my favorite, what the earliest.
One of the earliest I saw was Steve. If you remember the Stevie Wonder Nikon camera.
Yes, that was. I saw that
I
post and it started busting up.
was so young, and I saw my father going, "Wait a second, you can't joke about that." But then I said, "Wait a second, it's Stevie Wonder joking about his blindness." That was my, oh my God, you can laugh at everything. And especially if you're laughing at yourself, that makes it even more funny and acceptable.
Yeah. I do that. I do that all the time. And I know like some of my friends will say, why are you always roasting yourself? And I said, because it makes my skin thick. I have to do it daily. Like, it's not because I hate myself. It's because I think it's funny.
Yeah.
And if it makes me laugh, it might make you laugh. But as long as it made me laugh, that's all that matters. I entertain myself sometimes,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's a wonderful thing that you can do that. And a lot of people need to realize that that's not a crazy thing. Some people think around making yourself laugh it's a very healthy thing. Laughter truly is one of the best medicines in the world. People forget that. And
yeah, it is.
We need to laugh more. We really do just need to laugh a lot more.
But yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go and try to get a little bit more practice in, but it was really nice meeting you. Always. And give the family hugs, and I always think about you guys. So
we're going to do this again. You're going to be my go-to. You might be my co-host.
Oh gosh, sure. I'll let me get my face ready. I'll make sure I do my eyebrows next time or something. At least comb my hair.
Me too. I don't know.
All right, then you take care.
Have a great night.
All right, see ya.
Bye. Again, just bearded babble here. Who else is on? Anybody else want to jump in right now? Come on. Let's have a chat about anything. Who's on? Who is here? Hit that button, go live with me, and let's talk. I think Thor was getting ready to tell me that he wanted to go out, but now he's back to his bone. Hi. Me and Thor just sitting here. That's all. A little bit of water here. Again, I'm trying to figure out this whole IG live thing, trying to figure out what I'm going to do, if I'm going to get into a podcast, or if I'm going to get into a YouTube. And again, this is tonight is a good night to try to figure out things, because I had a scheduled thing with a comedian tonight that we were going to go on at 8 o'clock, except for I told them 8 p.m. I did not realize that they were in Arizona again, so it's a 3-hour difference. So we're going to reschedule that one another time. Again, I'm sorry, Lexi, my bad. But again, this is all just about figuring out what to do. I enjoy the challenge of this. Monday night, I'm going to be lining up a bunch of people, and I'm hoping to get, I think it's something like 8 or 9 people Monday night, and I'm hoping to just get a marathon thing going where we just do 5, 10, 15 minutes per person. On to the next one. I have no idea what we're going to talk about. I have no idea about some of these people. Some of them I know through Instagram. Some of them I know nothing about, and that's going to be interesting. Just chatting with whoever. So again, we'll do this again. We'll figure it out no matter what happens. I'm just here for some bearded babble. So if you want to talk, if you want to chat, hit me up and we will do this. All right? Thanks again. Peace, love. Have a good night. See you next time. Bearded Babble.